So much, Rosie. All right, Valentine's Day is tomorrow, so the most important thing, don't forget. Next most important thing, don't leave your partner all dressed up with nowhere to go. Nick Donato from Liberty Entertainment Group is here with some incredible ideas for dining on February 14th for everybody. Thanks so much for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me.
All right, you are the guy in the know when it comes to dining and entertainment in this city. So we want to sort of break this down in terms of different categories for those people. First of all, your recommendation for the romantic, February 14th, you think this is a romantic time. What would you choose?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that Toronto is great for restaurants. We've got one of the best restaurant scenes in the world right now and getting recognized that way. So hats off to everybody in the industry. They've done a great job. For a romantic restaurant, the Rosewater Supper Club has been in the city for a long time. It's a period piece because it's a historic restaurant and space. So wonderful restaurant, but there's so many romantic restaurants in the city.
What is it about this place that makes it so not just beautiful? I mean, it's obviously a beautiful historic spot, but in terms of the restaurant where people really feel that environment, the romantic environment specifically.
Well, it's a grand feeling in terms of romanticism for the Edwardian period. So everybody relates to that and the style of the building and the facility itself. So that really enhances that experience. It becomes a real, visual experience as well as a romantic one.
Rough cost of what people could expect to pay at the Rosewater Supper Club. It's a beautiful restaurant. It's not cheap either.
Well, for Valentine, we always create something that's a special for people. So we do have a special Valentine's menu, and it'll range from $50 to $70 per person for your full course meal. So it's makes it easy for you. You select it, have a wonderful meal, and some great wine selections.
Okay, sort of shifting gears, bang for the buck. Chibo Wine Bar. What is it about this place?
Well, Chibo is actually an elegant restaurant in terms of style and feel, and it really feels, I would relate it to the New York style restaurants. It's funky. It's on the main King Street drag where there's lots of great restaurants. But there, it's accessible in terms of price point, and you can choose, a variety of different things. So it goes from pizza to pastas, all under $21. And the nicest thing is it's a tremendous wine list with over 3,000 bottles in the cellar, and it ranges from as low as $25 per bottle and obviously up to the $800 mark. But it gives you that variety and flexibility to work on your budget and on ensure you're impressing your loved one.
Okay, now here's a nice one. Jacob and Company Steakhouse. I'm a steak guy. I love this. Tell me about this place and what makes it so special.
Well, I think it's got that romantic feel as well, and I recommended Jacob's because it's one of my favorite restaurants as well. When you want to go for a steak in a quieter environment, very high end, it's all about quality and service. So they do an exceptional job, and it is a great restaurant.
Spice Route. For those who are single, because February 14th, and whether it be Valentine's Day or any other day, right? I find more and more people going out by themselves, and that's not so bad.
Well, I think of it as saying maybe it's find your Valentine Day.
Hey,
because, if you don't have somebody special, you go to a bar or lounge, and I would recommend a restaurant with a larger bar area because then you'll find like-minded people who are probably single and, instead of staying home or out there. So you can bet that if you're meeting somebody that's on their own, they're probably single on Valentine's Day, and it's like-minded people. And the nice thing is if you actually find your loved one that night, it'll be something to remember for the long term.
And you can come back, right? And so I have to mention that Spice Route is actually good as well with a group of people. I mean, it's not just necessarily as a couple either.
Yes, it's groups, so larger groups, because the Spice Route does have large tables and booths and so on. So if you want to go out with a bunch of girlfriends to meet a bunch of guys, it would be a perfect opportunity on Valentine's Day.
Are these restaurants tough to get? I mean, this is the day before Valentine's Day. What would you say to the guys and the women out there who want to get these places? Because, I mean, these pictures are so attractive for people. How difficult is it the day before?
Well, it's going to be difficult getting reservations this weekend for all of these restaurants. But what I recommend to guys, especially last minute or anybody who wants to take their loved one, the important thing is to remember Valentine's Day. So you can do that with a card, and you can list that you love them. But more importantly, you can perhaps do a reservation just subsequent to Valentine's Day. And it's important that you've remembered, and it's important you've booked it so they know it's a serious, commitment to them in terms of taking them out. So if you can't get Valentine's Day, why not the next day or the day after?
Many
with
other
that
occasions, right? The man in the know, Nick Donato from Liberty Entertainment Group. Thanks so much for coming in.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
All right, we'll be back after this.